My first year as a beekeeper, Season 1. Today is our 6th inspection and it's the 2nd of June 2022, 6 days since our last check-in on the hive. Last week they were making some good progress in the second brood box, but the queen hadn't yet started laying up there. They also haven't made any progress in the honey super in the last few weeks. As you can see, there's a lot of activity at the front of the hive. Now it's time to crack open the box and have a look inside. The first room is looking pretty much empty on one side, but still has some capped honey on the other side. This next room is pretty much fully capped over. It won't be long until it's completely full of delicious honey. This next room is also the same. At this rate it won't be long until we have to give them another box. Enough of looking at the honey super, let us move down to the brood box. What you can probably see here is me prying off the box. This is done with something called a hive tool. The hive tool is a handheld multi-purpose tool used in maintaining and inspecting beehives. I'll flash up a picture of mine now so you can see what one looks like. It's nothing special, but it's quite useful for prying boxes apart, lifting frames and other generic beekeeping jobs. Now that we're down in the brood box, we can start pulling the frames out. It doesn't look like they've made much progress here. I've spoken about drawing out frames a bit, so I thought I'd talk a little bit more about what this actually means. When a beekeeper adds in a frame, they usually have an empty frame of wax in it. This is known as foundation. This is basically just wax with a typical honeycomb structure stamped out on it. The bees will then take this and draw it out. This basically means they'll be adding their own wax to fully build up the honeycomb structure so that they can store honey or lay eggs in it, etc. Here is a picture of a new frame which hasn't been drawn out yet. And here is a picture of one which has been fully drawn out next to it. Here's a close-up of the fully drawn out one. Continuing on with the inspection and flipping through the other frames, they all look pretty much the same. There doesn't appear to be any sign of the queen up here. Moving down to the main brood box, you can see me putting the hive tool to some use, which helps me to lift out the frames. This first frame has quite a lot of pollen on it. Did you know that when a worker bee leaves the hive and visits flowers, she'll collect both nectar and pollen? This is because nectar is a carbohydrate and is an important source of energy. This can be turned into honey. Pollen provides a source of protein and fats which are crucial for rearing baby bees. Here is a close-up of some pollen for you. If you look carefully, you'll be able to see lots of different colours. Here is a close-up of a bee that looks like she's trying to do a little dance for us. After shaking off the bees, we can get a close-up of some of the larvae. These are very far into their development cycle and will likely be capped over soon. On the other side, you may be able to see some eggs. As we continue through the inspection, you will likely notice a lot less capped brood. This is because most of these would have emerged over the last week or two, so the queen is having to go back through and fill these up with eggs. Let's fast forward through these until something interesting comes up. We've managed to stumble across a worker bee emerging. You can see she's a lot lighter than the other bees in colour. Now that she's out, she will immediately get on with work around the hive. On this next frame we have our queen bee, Bertha. Let me know in the comments if you can see her. Did you know that in the event of anything happening to the queen, such as she is no longer able to produce worker bees or dies, the bees will go about creating a new queen? For the bees to do this, the queen must have recently laid eggs within the hive. This is because they need to locate a newly hatched egg and either build a queen cell around it or move it to a queen cup. We've actually seen these queen cups in earlier videos when the bees were trying to swarm. These are then fed a special diet which consists of mostly royal jelly. It's this special diet that makes it so that the bee will grow into a queen. At this point, the queen would need to kill the existing queen if she is present. This is because there should only be one queen within the hive. The virgin queen will eventually leave the hive and partake in several mating flights before she returns to the hive. She then spends the rest of her life laying eggs until she is either replaced or dies. Definitely not the life of luxury that most queens enjoy. Back to the inspection. We've put her in a queen clip to keep her safe, and now we'll continue with the rest of the inspection. Back to the frame of doom, which always seems to contain queen cells. It looks as though these are empty, so we should be safe, but I'll continue to remove these so it'll be easier to spot new ones in each inspection. As you may have guessed, I really hate this frame. I won't remove the frame this season, but next season I promise you I will get rid of this frame. I hate it so much. This next frame is almost completely full of capped brood. Well done, Bertha. And that's it for this inspection. If you found this interesting, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will catch you in the next video.